In this video, we are going to see about the performance evolution and the introduction to no free lunch theorem. So if suppose we see that based solely on the raw academic scores, we just say that student A has 95 marks, student B 90 marks, and student C 88 marks. And based on the completion speed, if you say that student A 95 marks in 3 hours, 92 marks in 1 hour, and 90 marks in 45 minutes. Now, which one is the best? Who is the best student? Right? So, all this matters when we work with optimization algorithm. So why we have to evaluate an algorithm? Because we cannot say that we are going to optimize. At the same time, we have to check about the time required to run the algorithm, accuracy of the algorithm, cost, memory, stability. So everything we have to consider. So to determine which one is the best, we need standardized performance indicators. So what makes an algorithm good? So maybe accuracy, it finds a good solutions, speed, so find them quickly, or stability, be reliable under any condition, consistency, it works repeatedly, right? So performance measures, the evaluation metrics usually used in optimizations are mean best fitness, success rate, computational processing, tracking. So what is mean best fitness? Mean best fitness is the average of the best fitness value obtained over multiple runs. So you run the algorithm for 10 to 20 times. You get the fitness value every time and you take an average, right? So how that value should be for a maximum minimization problem, the metric should be lower. Okay. And for maximization problems, it should be higher. The second metric is the success rate. So success rate is defined as the probability or frequency with which an optimization algorithm successfully converges to the desired target, right? So how quickly, sorry, not how quickly, it is the probability, okay? So with which how successfully it has converged to the target solution is what the success rate. The third one is the average evaluation to the solution, AES. So AES measures the average number of evaluations needed to reach a solution. So for example, student A reaches 95 marks in 2 days and 95 marks in 10 days. So you see here, the first one has fewer computational steps, but the second one has a larger timer is taken. So a smaller AES is always preferred for the better efficiency. So best so far. So best so far records and preserves the highest quality solution discovered from the start of execution up to the current iteration. So the next one is the average computational processing. So it takes care of the CPU usage, memory consumption, and the processing effort. And next, worst computational processing. It analyzes even the peak demands, right? So how what is the worst processing that this algorithm has taken? So even you can visualize using box plots. Now the box plots gives you the median performance. It gives you the spread of the data. It gives you the minimum and the maximum outcomes. It also shows you if there is any outliers. So apart from that, statistical analysis can also be performed. So mean, standard deviation, significant test can be performed. So why obviously we have to go for a multiple run? Because a single run will never give you an optimal solution every time, right? You cannot conclude by a single solution saying that, okay, my experiment is good. Always you have to do a multiple run. You should you have to take an average of those performance and then you have to measure which is the best. So can one algorithm win on all problem? Can one solution, suppose algorithm A wins traveling salesman problem, will that be in every time will win is the question. That leads to a no free lunch theorem concept. What is no free lunch theorem concept? No single optimization algorithm performs best for every possible optimization problem. So this is the no free lunch algorithm. For example, you see that in order to escape the city traffic, we use a bike. Suppose you want to go as a family trip. At that time, we prefer a car. And in time of emergency, we prefer an helicopter. So the best choice depends on the environment and the task requirement. Similarly, nature as well. So cheetah, it can go fast in the land, but dolphin, it is good for swimming. Similarly, eagle is best for vision, camel is best for desert survival. So there are best animals also has their own specialization. So if you compare routing problems, you go for ant colony optimization. Suppose you have continuous optimization, you go for PSO, scheduling, genetic algorithm, feature selection, you go for a hybrid method. So even nature algorithms have a specific problems to solve. So if you take this complete 9 hours of lecture, we started with nature, then we discussed about the biological process of DNA and brain. We discussed about the evolution, swarm intelligence, search behavior. Then we move on to the meta heuristic. From meta heuristic, we move on to optimization, multi-objective optimization. Now in this lecture, we discussed about performance evolution and the no free lunch algorithm. So these are some of the core deliverables. Why optimization? How does the nature store the information? How does nature evolve? How do group become intelligent? How do animals search? How are the search strategies converted into algorithms? What is optimization? Is there something called a multi-objective optimization? And how do I select an algorithm? How do I say the algorithm to be best for the given tasks?